Hey, hey, it's Berta J. Not in my kitchen, but I'm with you today. And what I want to share with you is some general basic understanding of packaging, reading the package, the labels on cans and bags, things that you purchase from the grocery store. What's in what you're buying. Just general information. We're going to do a series on this. And we're going to start, I'm going to take each piece so that you can understand it. Some will be longer than others, but it will help you to know what you're putting into your body. That's why I'm doing this. We're not going to be cooking, but we're going to be learning. So get out your pencils, get a little piece of paper and write down some stuff so that you'll remember it when you go to the grocery store. The first thing that I want to get into is packaging. I want you to understand that manufacturers want to get your attention when you go into an aisle and their products are there. Whatever it is, they want to get your attention. And what they'll have on it is several things. One, they're going to have their name. The name of the product is going to be pretty bold. So I'm using these two, but you know there's lots of other things too, right? Because it had multiple ingredients. It wasn't just one thing. So this one, it's going to have the name of the product. And here's the name of the product. Name of the product, name of the product, right there. It's also going to have the name of the manufacturer, the company who produced it. With that company is usually their address, their telephone number, and usually a website. The website will give you an opportunity, if you want to leave comments or also to ask questions. Sometimes it's to also find in different recipes that you can use whatever it is that you've purchased, so that you don't have to use it just straight out of the container. You can also use it different ways. It will tell you, it'll to give you the weight. I also want to tell you that it'll always give you the weight of your product and how many things are in that bag, that can, or that carton. It will also tell you whether the product is baked or fried. Now, sometimes it won't tell you if it's fried because they know that if they tell people something is fried, it's going to mean that there's going to be more fat in it. But if they tell you that it's baked, then that always means that there's less fat in it. And so that's a big selling point, will be on the container. That's usually with a lot of snacks and things like that. You've probably seen baked Lay's, baked chips of some kind, so that when you look at the package of that, you'll find out that there'll be less fat in that than it would be if it was not. It will also give you the nutritional facts, which is the one thing that we're going to go over, but not today. But we'll go over the nutritional facts, and I'm sure a lot of you have read these, and we'll go over just generally what they are, how to read them, so that you can understand whether that's something you want to purchase. And it's on here. This is a big one. This is a smaller one. Okay, now, the other thing that I wanted to tell you about is there are like 4 different things that I want you to keep in mind about what may be splashed across the package. I don't have any one here, but if you look at products like dairy products, you will find this on snacks and things like that. We'll start with the first one, is light. It will have light on yogurts and things like that, and also on potato chips. And what it means is that the calorie count is going to be usually a third less to a half less than the regular. So if they also make regular yogurt, then this light one is going to be a third less than that. And light could also mean, surprisingly, the FDA has given their approval for this, but it could also mean light in color. It could also mean light in texture. So once you understand it says light, don't stop there. I'm going to give you some more information in the later video so that you'll know. I'm going to turn this package over so I can see what else is in here. But that's what light means. It could also say sugar-free. Now, sugar-free or low sugar doesn't mean it's not sweet. It'll still be sweet because there are many different types of sweeteners that you can have. I did another show on sweeteners. It may have one of those in it. But that sweetness could come from a chemical. and not from a natural sugar. You need to know that. And if that's okay with you, then just know that that's going to be on the package as a part of the ingredients. Okay, so sugar-free and light. Now we're going to go to low fat. If it says splashed across the packaging, low fat this or no fat, it may be 0 on the back. When you read the nutritional facts, it may be a 0, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have any fat in it at all. It just means that the amount of fat that's in there is less than 0.5 milligrams. I mean 0.5 grams. And the FDA has said that that's okay for it to be that way. Keep in mind that if anything says that it is low fat or no fat, it's going to be high in sugar. It's going to be high in sweetness, because it needs some kind of taste for you to say, yeah, I'm going to eat this. I don't have very much fat in it, but you've got a lot of sugar. So be aware of that. Low fat, no fat, fat-free is going to be high in sweetness. It's going to be high in sugar. Well, let me go back a little. Those 3 things, either light or sugar-free, low sugar, low fat, fat-free. Just because a product has those names attached to it on the labeling, before you even get to the ingredients, doesn't mean it's healthy. It just means that it has those characteristics. And not everything that's in a package, it's in a bag, or it's in a can that says these things, or that even are in the grocery store, says that this is a healthy, or that it's even a food. Sometimes they're just thrown together a bunch of stuff with a lot of chemicals and some coloring and this and that, and they've packaged it up, and it's sweet tasting or it's full of fat. It doesn't mean that it's food nor that it's healthy. So just be aware of the packaging of the things that you pay for, bring home and eat, because you want to be as healthy as you possibly can. Correct? I'm seeing you nodding your head out there, so that's a good thing. Okay, now the last thing that I want to talk about is gluten-free. You notice that they never say low gluten. It's either gluten-free or not. And when they talk about gluten-free, you have to understand what gluten is. And so I'm going to tell you very simply, it is a protein that is in grains, usually the cereal grains. I'll list some for you. It's like wheats, all the different types of wheats. There's lots of different types of wheats. Durum, you see pastas and things like that are made of durum and semolina. That's a wheat, and that would have gluten in it. There's spelt, farina, farro, gram, incorn wheat, rye, barley, triticale, and oats. Oats are a little tricky because there are farmers who grow oats that are gluten-free. And you can find them on the internet and probably in the grocery store, and it's perfectly legal because they have chosen to not do the regular oats, but do the gluten-free oats. For whatever reason, you can find gluten-free oats, okay? Now, when you look at soups and it says gluten-free across it, most soups are gluten-free unless it's a cream soup, because cream soups usually use some kind of flour, and flour is made from grain. And if it says it's gluten-free, then they've chosen to use a thickener or a flour that is not a flour with from the grains that I mentioned, and there are others as well. But you need to understand that that's what gluten is, and if it says gluten-free, it means those things, those types of grains are not in the product that you're looking at. Be very careful with that. These are the things that you can count on that are always gluten-free, even if it's not on the packaging, okay? Vegetables. I don't know of a vegetable that has gluten in it. Vegetables, fruits, in their packaging, in their natural packaging, an apple that you can just bite, some celery that you're going to use in a soup or whatever. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, grains, not grains, nuts and seeds. Certain seeds, not all of them, but most of the seeds are also gluten-free. And meat. Meat has no gluten in it. Now, let's take it one little step further. If you're a meat eater, and I don't know if you are or not, but if you choose to eat meat, then remember that if you get a meat that is coated in something, it could possibly, and you have a problem with gluten, then you need to look at what the ingredients are on the packaging, because they could have put in breadcrumbs. Anytime you see breadcrumbs, it's probably something that has been made from a grain that could have gluten in it. So be very careful with that. Now, having gone over all of that, the basics, because this is what you're going to start with. You're going to start with a package. You're going to look at it and determine whether or not you want it. Either a package of this, like something like this. And here's these, I just wanted to talk really quickly about these. If you want to do less gluten, here's an example. See here, it says gluten-free. It also says low fat. I'll use this when we start talking about the different parts on the nutritional facts. I'll use the same packaging so we can see that what they're saying is true. What else is it? I think that's it. Over here, it's certified gluten-free. And they're just brown rice snaps. Rice doesn't have any gluten in it, neither does corn. So that's it for this installment, and I hope you've learned something. And if you have any questions, please write them and I'll see what I can do about answering them. And I'll answer as quickly as I can. If I know the answer, I'll send it back quickly, but if I don't, it may take me some time to research it. But please feel free to ask me a question, because I want to give information to you that's going to help you to eat healthier. Okay? And I hope this is a good start. We'll have another installment real soon. Okay? Bye for now.